Hey guys, this week's First Chapter Friday is 23 Minutes by Vivian Vande Velde. So it is a science fiction novel. The first chapter is really, really short, so I'm going to go ahead and read the description for you. 15-year-old Zoe has a secret ability. She can travel back in time 23 minutes to relive events that she wants to change. But Zoe has learned from experience that this is more of a curse than a gift. Things almost never end well, and people just tend to think she's crazy. But when she steps into a bank to get out of the rain and finds herself in the middle of a robbery gone horrifically wrong, Zoe knows that she's the only one who can help. The problem is, she has only a limited number of tries to make things right. Plus, a single mistake could get her killed, and not even time travel can bring her back from that. Zoe has always considered herself a loser, about as far from a heroine as a girl can get. Now she has to dig deep to find the strength she never thought she possessed. Chapter 1. The story starts with an act of stunning violence. Or, well, maybe not exactly. Maybe exactly. The story starts when Zoe walks into the bank, except she doesn't recognize it as a story yet. She just knows the sky is opened up in a late autumn downpour so that she feels as though she's standing under a shower at the campground. The one that's strong and steady but has only two temperatures, cold and very cold. Zoe has never understood the point of camping. Haven't people evolved for thousands of years precisely so that they do not have to sleep on the ground or pee outdoors or have to eat half raw food that's been charred over a fire? But the people who run group homes for teens, nobody wants to foster, always seem to feel that roughing it is a way to build community spirit and to bond with the disadvantaged youth of our city, as though they weren't in a group home exactly because they'd had a rough time already. Zoe feels that an overnight at a Holiday Inn, hanging out in a hot tub and ordering room service while watching on-demand movies would make a much more satisfying building and bonding experience. Not that anybody ever asked Zoe. So the rain starts fast and hard and just a degree or two warmer than sleet, and Zoe dashes through the first door she comes to and finds herself in a bank. That's more a prelude than a beginning to the story, the foreword, the setup. Then there are all the supporting characters, the snotty bank teller and the full of himself bank guard, as well as the one bank customer, the one who stands out from the fewer than a dozen other customers. The young guy that Zoe immediately pegs as an up-and-coming business exec or a junior lawyer at a prestigious law firm, the kind that does not advertise on TV. Zoe prides herself on being able to evaluate people quickly. It's been a necessity for survival. But this guy has an engaging smile and takes the time to speak kindly to her even after she walks into him, steps on his foot, and drips rainwater on him and his expensive shoes. Lastly, and of course, there's the bank robber, although Zoe doesn't know that he is a bank robber yet. Not much here to say story. It doesn't really pick up speed until the robbery starts to go awry, until they're all within 20 feet of each other, even closer if you're willing to discount that one bank teller. Without her, they're in a really tight cluster, Zoe on her knees on the floor, with the guard with his gun drawn and aimed at the head of the would-be robber, and the would-be robber with his gun drawn and aimed at the head of the guy who was so nice to Zoe. Should I say it now? She wonders several times until finally, after all the shooting and gun waving and threatening to shoot anyone and everyone, the robber's attention is firmly on someone else besides Zoe. Finally, she sees she might actually have a moment or two in which to use her special ability to get away. If only that opportunity weren't a result of the young CEO, or whoever he is, intentionally stepping between her and the robber. Is he stupid or suicidal? Zoe asks herself. But this is unfairly diminishing him. His eyes are blue and wide and have enough fear in them to say that he knows exactly what he's done. Enough defiance to declare that he'd make that same choice again. And that holds Zoe where she is. The situation gets even worse with more shouting, more threatening, and then there are two simultaneous shots, or too close to simultaneous to make a difference. Leaving Zoe spattered in the blood of both the thief and the customer she'd almost grown to like. That's how the story starts. And that is chapter 1. So come and check this novel out if you have any interest at all in sci-fi, time travel, action adventure is obviously in there. It is in the library right now.